Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session to bring about a resource state which probably sounds counterintuitive, and that is because it has two resources that are almost polar opposite, and that is passion and indifference. And it was actually created for a client that used to head up a department, and because they had then taken a less responsibility role, found themselves with people they used to line manage now being their boss and creating difficult situations for them, and that was triggering for them. And what they wanted, what the ideal outcome for them, was to be passionate about the work that they do, but kind of indifferent about the politics and the game playing that can happen in certain corporate situations. And you could think of it as the Stoic pendulum of acceptance and control. Acceptance and control are polar opposites, and yet both are highly useful to manage difficult situations. So this is passionate indifference. And I'd like you to think about where in your life would you like to feel more passion for and more enthusiasm for, and where would you like to feel like you don't really care, more ambivalence, more indifference. And you might find that the ability to effortlessly switch between being very enthusiastic and passionate about certain things and almost like you couldn't care less about something else becomes a superpower. So really think about which of these resource states would be most useful for different contexts in your life. It was created for a specific individual, therefore some of the references might relate to certain corporate situations that you just don't recognize or resonate with because it was created for them, in which case disregard anything that doesn't quite fit and hone into anything that does. And if you do like the idea of some kind of a bespoke session created for you, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule that free 30-minute Zoom consultation call with me, and we'll have a chat just to see if I'm the right hypnotherapist to be working with you. In the meantime, this session might be helpful, so find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just imagine breathing in pure, concentrated relaxation. And breathe in that relaxation, allowing it to be distributed to every cell in your body. And as you exhale, feel any tension, any stress, any worries, feeling like it's being displaced and leaving your body in your outward breath. Maybe you can think of the relaxation like oxygen, and any tension like carbon dioxide. Breathing in what your body needs and exhaling anything you've been holding on to that isn't necessary. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become, as you allow tension in your body to just be released. With every breath, feel yourself going deeper into comfort, deeper into relaxation. Deeper into a state of effortless awareness. Eyelids feeling heavier and heavier as you realize with your eyes closed just how much more of your attention you can give to the sound of my voice. Feel the rhythm of your breathing, steady and calm, as your mind begins to slow down, to settle, to open. And I wonder if you can imagine a warm wave of relaxation flowing from the top of your head down the muscles of your face into your jaw, and then even further down into your shoulders, your arms, your chest, deeper into your core. Feel the ripples of that wave going down through your legs, all the way deep down to the tips of your toes. And this wave washes away all tension, all distractions, leaving only a clear, open space in your mind. And as you harness that state of resourceful relaxation, amplify it. And I wonder if you can imagine yourself standing at the edge of a large yet serene ocean, where the water before you is calm yet powerful. I want you to get a sense that the waves almost have purpose, giving you a feeling of turbulence and movement, and yet sometimes shifting to calm. I want you to get a sense that maybe the ocean represents the good and the bad in a part of your life right now. When it feels calm and settled and predictable, you enjoy the ocean. But maybe when it feels turbulent, dangerous, or unpredictable, it can leave you feeling triggered. I want you to imagine a small pebble being tossed into the water. A slight disturbance, a momentary ripple, but the ocean is vast. The ripple is insignificant. In fact, within seconds, it's impossible to see any clues of that pebble hitting the waves at all. I want you to get a sense that what if your emotional resources were as vast as the ocean? That any attempt to provoke you is nothing more than a tiny pebble in your vast ocean. It's there, you can acknowledge it. It just doesn't have any impact on you. If your emotional resources was a small pond, the same pebble would absolutely have an impact. But your emotional resources is a vast ocean. Any attempt to provoke, niggle, touches the surface, but it does not change the depth of who you are or what you are capable of. I want you to get a sense that people around you may have their own agendas, their own games, their own frustrations, and their own fears. But that is theirs to hold. And you recognize from this point onwards, their games don't have to be your games. Their agendas certainly don't need to be yours. I want you to get a sense that sometimes just by being aware, you can diffuse any element of being triggered. You start to evaluate what truly matters. That if something is important, you address it with clarity and purpose. But not everything is. Some things are just noise, just a distraction, just politics. And when that's the case, you remain completely indifferent. The ocean does not change who it is because a pebble is thrown into it. Feel that wonderful sense of objectivity. Just by knowing the games and the politics helps you to be immune to any triggers, any attempts of provocation. I want you to create an image in your mind's eye where you see yourself stepping into your workplace or the primary means of doing your work, maybe a Zoom call. But see yourself with a slightly different facial expression and slightly different body language. There is a new sense of calm confidence and ease. Your presence is calm, yet exudes confidence. See yourself deeply engaged in the work that excites you, that fuels you, that drives you forward. See yourself with the facial expressions of passion and dedication. But yet alongside this passion, there is a powerful indifference. You are indifferent to distractions, indifferent to unnecessary conflict, indifferent to game playing. I want you to get a sense that this is the perfect balance, the yin and the yang. The passion keeps your standards high, but the indifference keeps you safe from being provoked. You're just not willing to play that game anymore. I want you to get a sense that if this environment is not right for you, you realize you have so many different options. You are not trapped. You are there because you choose to be there. And if you choose not to be there, then you won't. And that freedom makes you untouchable. Step into that version of you with that passionate indifference as you feel the ease of this truth settling into your mind, into your very core, a powerful, unshakable knowing that guides you forward effortlessly and confidently. In fact, let's go forwards in time to something that's plausible in the future where you could be interrupted, criticized, given an unwinnable task. But let's experience this with this state of passionate indifference. Perhaps you could imagine a Zoom call. Picture the faces of certain people criticizing your work, your competency, talking over you, interrupting you. But notice your inner dialogue is playful, curious, and intrigued. Almost like a, The thought is for you to decipher what games are being played without taking the bait, as you consider yourself an intelligent mouse seeing the cheese on the trap but not willing to take a nibble. You know it's there. You know the game is being played. Why would you voluntarily nibble the cheese when it's sat to trigger a trap? So instead, you feel this indifference. Allow them to have their traps and have their games. You will choose to be passionate about your work, but indifferent about all the nonsense and noise that goes on alongside it. Feel a sense of composure and calm, and see them getting frustrated because you're not playing their game. Maybe they even look confused, and that makes you smile, perhaps just in your own mind, knowing that sometimes, just once or twice, the trigger doesn't work can sometimes mean the trigger never works again. So if it feels that you've got new resources and strategies to deal with similar things in the future, giving you a sense of distance and composure, a passionate indifference, just let me know by nodding your head. And take that resource back with you. And that thinking noise inside your mind, that the very thing that would cause you to feel frustrated now causes you to feel curious and intrigued. And because of that, many of these triggers just won't work anymore. Just like a light switch, if someone's cut the cable from behind the switch, someone could desperately try and press the light switch, but the light would never go on. They just wouldn't know that the cable is cut behind it. I want you to feel that you've now rewired your mind. Things that used to trigger you now won't. Or perhaps will turn on a different light. A light of intrigue, curiosity, and indifference, when it's useful to keep you calm, composed, and safe. But keep hold of that passion for your work, even if your work ends up being something entirely different. It's time to leave that thought and that ocean and feel that you do indeed have an ocean of resources within, and no pebble can change that. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect fully into the here and now, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.